Rename yourself. Rename yourself.
Absolutely. So you have the ability to rename yourself. And to do that, if you're on a Mac, click on your own video and select rename. If you're on a PC, right-click on your own video and select rename.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm glad we remembered a little bit in. It's always a learning experience, even for us.
I think Brenda's on the call, Jude. I saw her.
Perfect.
Retha has a success to share. And yeah, so we'll turn it over to her, I guess.
Hi, good morning. So I had sent a message to Brenda last week that I got a job. So she asked if I would come on and share my success story. And so I told her I would absolutely do that. It was 8 months in the making. It was a long and lengthy time, lots of updating resumes, updating LinkedIn, having people send me job postings that they saw, making connections, asking around, just really building a network, because I feel like I would not have gotten this job had I not taken the time to really build my network, asking questions, following up with different people at different companies, learning about the field, learning about how to actually do interviews, how to write my resume correctly, and to help me hone in on some of my skills. In the meantime, I had been doing, the job is a digital marketing specialist at a company out of New York. I'll be working remotely down here in Mississippi. Yeah, if anybody has any questions on the process, I can definitely help you. Be patient, absolutely be patient.
I kind of love how, Retha, you said that networking was really important and that it helped you. So when you started out networking, were you like a little nervous? Were you embarrassed? Did you find that, the more you did it, the better you got at it and the more relaxed you were about it, or?
So talking to people, totally my bag of goods that I have. That's my forte, is talking to people. And I have never in my life been afraid to ask anybody anything. It didn't matter whether it was the CEO or when I was in the Navy, if it was an admiral, it didn't matter if you were the highest person or the lowest person. If I thought you had value, and every person has value, I'd start asking people just random questions. Now, my biggest problem was knowing exactly what to ask so that I didn't come across pushy, because I'm a very direct person. If I want to know about one particular job, I'm going to straight up ask you, what can you tell me about this job at your company? And what can you tell me about your company? And so learning how to kind of finesse that in a way that they feel like they're adding value and are going to get something out of that, rather than just tell me and tell me now.
You make a really good point, Retha, about that they get some value out of it as well, right? People like to help. It makes them feel good. But yeah, you have to be nice about it. And sometimes being direct, not everybody likes that. I'm kind of direct myself. And yeah, sometimes it's not taken it as it was intended to. So does anybody have any questions for Retha? Susan.
Hi there. Congratulations, first of all. That's phenomenal. After 8 months, I'm sure there's just this relief that's coming over you. I'm curious, for the position that you ended up getting, what it was that got you there. Was it through networking and getting your resume to the right person, a conversation with the right person? Was it a job board? How did this final goal come to be for you with all the experience and work that you've done over the last 8 months?
So over the last 8 months, I've been updating my LinkedIn and updating my resume. And every couple of months, I would adjust my green banner on LinkedIn and make a post saying, okay, look, I'm looking for this. And I have all of this experience. And enough people shared it that it was shared to someone at this company. But then turns out we both worked in the Navy on recruiting duty. So sharing my information and my LinkedIn profile and my network opened the door to other people in my network that then got added to my network. And so that's why doing this over the different months, by re-adding that banner and re-adding what I was looking for, then I was connecting to other people, because it's not about who you know, it's about who they know.
Hmm.
Chris, I think you say that all the time. And it really is. I met this person through somebody else in my network. So it's networking, but you do still have to have a strong resume. Once I got to talking to this person and we had some things in common, we had some common work history, I still had to give him my resume. I still had to go through the interviews, and I still had to go through the traditional process. Yes, my resume got moved to the top, but if I'd had a bad resume, maybe that wouldn't have happened. So it's a combination. You get your foot in the door with the networking, and then it's your laurels and your resume that gets you the rest of the way.
Love that. Thank you.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, definitely.
Can I just piggyback on what Ruth is talking about? I like to talk about building bridges before you need them. And so Aretha's bridges were built early in her career when she was in the services, right? And those bridges extend beyond, you know, the narrow parameters of the years that you were there. They extend forever. When, you know, the alumni that you were in college with, the people that you're in a church group with, all those people are your connections. And then the next thing that she said that's really important is that it's not always your direct connections that can get you to the next level. Sometimes it's those extensions of that, and we call those your weak connections. They're not your first level. If you think about LinkedIn, they're not necessarily your first level, but your second and third, how you're connected to those other people. That is super important, and that most of the jobs that are out there that you cannot find because they're kind of hidden, you're going to get through these other types of connections. So networking is everything, but there's lots of different layers of networking. And there's a great example of how she utilized that. Good example. Great.
Yeah, this job definitely, it was never posted. It was posted after they decided that they were going to hire me. But Lowell had to post the position. But yeah, I got this job before they even posted it.
And that's very, very common.
And the other thing about networking too is you don't want to just do it when you need it. It should be constant.
Yes.
Like I have a job. I still need to be on LinkedIn. Maybe not every single day, all day like I was, but I still need to be on there building those relationships and building my network, because eventually I'm going to either want to leave or need to leave this particular role that I'm taking on. And I'm going to need my network again. And they're going to shy away from you if you've just sat there and ignored them for months or years.
Thank you so much for saying that. That is brilliant.
100%. And also, as you're building your network, think about how you can connect people to each other, right? I like the term super connector. I know a couple of super connectors. People who are always thinking about who someone should know. I know Jude should know Retha. I know Retha should know Joey. So it's important to take the other side also. It's not just what you can get from people, but what you can offer them as well. And be that person who is offering your services, offering other connections, people that you know. It makes you look fantastic.
Joey.
Yeah, I wanted to add to what Mindy was just saying, and even what Jude said, is that, and I mentioned this in a previous broadcast. I don't remember if it was with you guys or somewhere else. I don't remember. Maybe it was with Ken Lang. One of the reasons we wanted you to post, one of the reasons you should be posting in LinkedIn is because people are gonna come out of the woodwork that you've known for 30 years, but you haven't spoken to. And to Mindy's point, if somebody you've known for 30 years you haven't spoken to, they see your post and they pop up and they reach out to you. Now you've opened up another bridge, if you will. Mm-hmm. You've connected another bridge, and you just have no idea. I mean, I talk about this in my book. You have no idea who's going to help you, and it's almost you can almost bet almost every job you get is going to be because you knew someone who knew someone that neither one of you knew had it not been for all these connections. So this story, Aretha, for everybody else on the call who's listening, who's looking, you got to open up and you got to put yourself out there, because someone is lying around looking for something to do and talk to somebody. And then when they see a post that you've written and they went to kindergarten with you, my goodness, the possibilities are endless. No guarantee that'll happen. I guarantee if you don't do it, it won't happen.
I just want to also mention that on LinkedIn, commenting on other people's posts is a great way to start getting noticed by other people. I've had people reach out to me to connect because of the comments I've made on other people's posts. So that's another thing. And, you know, credibility is built when you are on LinkedIn and you're sharing your expertise and your knowledge about the field that you're in. And, you know, if you've taken a course on something, let people know, you know, what are your 3 key takeaways from that particular course that you took? It doesn't matter if it's a little mini course. What matters is that you're sharing your knowledge and your expertise and how you can use what you've learned in your position. So all those things really add up when you're on LinkedIn, and they make you someone that people reach out to as well. Thank you so much, Rita, and congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
I was literally dancing around my office.
I bet.
Great.
We had some questions.
Hey, Brenda.
Hey, Brenda.
Welcome, Brenda. Welcome. I think
She's talking,
Kevin-
but we can't hear her.
yeah,
Brenda,
here.
you're muted, honey.
Nice background.
I think Kevin Turner's in the
still
background there too. Pretty
Brenda,
sure.
Brenda, you're still muted.
Hey,
Brenda. you're
Brenda, we
muted.
can't hear you.
Maybe she's not talking to us. She's not.
Oh,
looking
maybe
at
not.
us.
Maybe not.
I mean, I think
who
she's.
is she talking to then?
Well, Kevin Turner is there because she's in Dallas, you know. She's in Dallas doing a
she thinks
presentation.
talking to us.
I
Who's
think
in
she is
Dallas?
talking to us. Hold on.
Okay, Brenda Miller's in Dallas. She's doing a presentation over the weekend, and I think she's with Kevin Turner now.
Oh. Well, gosh, that's kind of odd. Christopher, you're a tech expert. What can we do here?
Well, we can send her a note. We've asked her to unmute. So now the ball is actually in her court.
She put in the
Really
chat,
talking
just
to
keep
people.
going.
Yep.
Oh, just keep
Um,
going.
Keep
Okay,
going. Okay.
okay.
All right.
So, Rosemary,
Veronique,
who's next?
yeah, well, Veronique had a question.
Okay.
So, Veronique, I don't know if you want to share your question or you want me to read your question, but
I'll go ahead and share it. This is really coming from Kenneth Lang. Earlier in the week, I think he shared a post or commented on a post, and it was a post about Chat GPT. And he asked, and it's the same question I have, what your thoughts are in using Chat GPT for your job search.
Kenneth,
never
take
thought-
it away.
Well, I think it's a great informational tool. I think it's a good foundation. You know, if you're like, I actually did some testing. I put some questions in there. I said, how would you answer the tell me about yourself question on an interview? And it came back with a very interesting response. And you can actually put interview questions in there and just see how it responds, and then make it resonate to what you're looking to do. Chat GPT is it's artificial intelligence. What you do is you go online, you post a question there, and it will come back with a response based on your question. So I did a thing, what is a good LinkedIn connection profile, a LinkedIn connection request, and it actually did it made a suggestion as to what you would say. It's such a great tool for interviewing, for job search, just to get some ideas. You know, we did tell me about yourself. So I would recommend you all go in there and just try it out that way.
Perfect. Thank you. Ken, we do see your hand up there. I'm going to ask Mindy, and then I think Rosemary, we can go to Ken Lang next.
Not me,
Our-
the other Ken Lang.
The other Ken.
So here's what's interesting about this AI. Okay, I was on a LinkedIn Influencer Summit this past week, and the folks on this summit were talking about how everything on LinkedIn can be done through that chat GI. Okay, there is nothing that cannot be done. He said he does his recommendations through it. He does all of his posts through it. He does he responds to DMs through it, and all you do is put a couple of words into it and it creates articles. So word to the wise, I know a lot of people are hesitant, including myself, to get started on that, but just be aware that a lot of things that you're reading right now on LinkedIn and many other places is not written by a human being. It's written by AI, artificial intelligence, and it's beautiful. I've read it, you know, it looks true and it looks like a human being. You can even tell them what kind of voice you want, friendly, humorous, professional. You can identify exactly the kind of voice you want to be spoken as. And so it sounds like it's the wave of the future, and we're gonna have to get used to it. I haven't tried it yet, but I know a lot of people who are using it. So just be aware that a human being is not necessarily writing what you're seeing, which makes me feel badly because I work really hard on my content. So,
Yeah, me too.
so you know, something new.
Yeah. So Veronique, one of the things that I would really caution you about is if people are using Chat GPT to write cover letters or resumes, make sure that it sounds like you, because there's nothing worse than getting into an interview and you sounding so different than your resume, because that's gonna cause red flags to go off on for the interviewer. It's got to be you. So make sure that, you know, if you use it, you make those little edits so that it is truly a reflection of who you are.
Good point. That is a good point.
And somebody put in the chat, not enough information about Chat GPT. You know, I don't think we could give enough information about Chat GPT because I don't think any of us are AI experts. So there's lots of information about Chat GPT out there. And really, if you're interested, like Mindy and Ken said, go on there and start.
It has limitations. It's only up to like 2020, 2021 in terms of the responses. So you want to think about that with a grain of salt, but it's like any tool. You try it out, you see what happens. You're not going to break it. I mean, I remember when I was starting out, I was so afraid I was going to crash the computer when I installed a program or something, and oh my God, what's going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. The same with posting on LinkedIn. What have you got to lose, whether it's to post or engage or do anything?
Now, I've already started using it, you know, testing it, not using it, just testing it. And I was curious what other people thought. There's just so many different directions and uses you can get out of it. So I was just kind of curious. I did read something this morning where I think it was in Mashable, where somebody had tested it in the job board ATS system. And this is kind of anecdotal, not a research type thing, but the article said it was better than 80% of the candidates. So, and because it could gather the keywords, the details from the posting and know what to say much better than the candidates themselves.
I know that there's a big concern in higher education about people using that to write term papers
Yes.
and to do homework assignments and do book reports and things. So knowing about it is one thing, of using it as something else. I know Microsoft is looking to purchase it, which I find interesting because LinkedIn kind of goes against automation. So we'll see where that goes.
Feels like
We're
a
gonna
tidal
move
wave is
on.
coming. Kenneth, it feels like the tidal wave is coming. I don't think we can put our hands up and say, please stop. And I've seen somewhere where schools are banning the Chat GPT, which is pretty funny because if Chat GPT doesn't work, then there's going to be 30 others taking its place. So
Yeah.
it's just, I don't think we can say, please don't comment us. I think it's coming.
Rosemary, is Ken next
Yep.
up there?
Yeah,
Perfect,
I see
Ken.
Ken has his hand up.
Yeah, going back to Retha, number one, congratulations on landing. Very exciting. I looked at your LinkedIn profile and I have to say it's one of the better profiles I've seen. So there's probably some things for me to learn there. Maybe it's a reflection of your graphic design background or your design background. Are there any books that you have found helpful in terms of really refining that LinkedIn profile? I'm reading a book right now called Linked, and it's written by two guys that worked at LinkedIn, and I'm only about a quarter of the way through the book, but it seems to be an excellent book, and I think it will be helpful for me. I was just wondering if you had any resources that you would recommend. And also, I think, Joey, you had mentioned that you had a book, and maybe you could post a link to your book as well.
So to answer your question, I did not use a book for my LinkedIn profile. Thank you. I'm glad that you think my LinkedIn profile looks stellar. I actually learned everything about LinkedIn and my profile from this group. This group looked at my LinkedIn profile, I think, for months and helped me make some tweaks and adjustments and changes. Mindy was super helpful. Jude was super helpful. Brenda was super helpful. Chris was super helpful. Those were the people that were on there earlier when I was really tweaking my LinkedIn profile. Now, there is a number of books that I'm a book reader. I love books. There are a lot of books that if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, I would be happy to have that chat with you and to share some of my resources. Brenda has a book that I still have not read. I'm still planning on reading that. Hopefully I can get that book now that will have a new job that pays much better. But yes, there's a lot of books that you can read. Most of the things that I have learned through books. LinkedIn, that was definitely from this group and from Mindy's accelerators group as well.
Hey,
Thank you.
Rita, I'm looking at your LinkedIn profile. It looks nothing like what we saw originally. Wow.
Right.
Wow.
It's a complete different.
Completely different. Wow. That's great. Good for you.
I want to say too, I'm really glad that Retha pointed out that she made changes throughout her job search. So, your LinkedIn profile is not a static document. It's a living document. And as you see something or something pops in your head, oh, I should put that in there, go and do it, because you want to make that LinkedIn profile something that's going to be interesting to read. Okay. If it's boring, you're sunk. You've got to have something that's kind of catchy, that's going to grab the attention of the person that's reading. And one of the things that Brenda always says that I loved, and I made changes in my own profile, was in your about section, people see the first 4 lines. If those first 4 lines aren't catchy, they're not going to click more. So, is that really, you have to be very objective when you're looking at your profile and make sure, get feedback from your friends and your family or people who are in your field. Go onto LinkedIn and see what others in your field are, how their profile is. Grab ideas that you see on their profiles and emulate those ideas. Okay. And yeah, please, if you have another book, Christopher, I think, put in a book title. If anyone's got another book title, please put it into the chat so we can all take advantage of that knowledge.
I
Can you
had a
answer your
success.
question?
I had a success that I wanted to share. So I had dental surgery last Wednesday and gum grafting, not for the faint at heart, but anyhow, so really couldn't talk the remainder of last week, but yet this week I had a phone screen, and after this call, I have that's led to a second interview with that company.
Wow.
I had an in-person interview yesterday.
Wow.
And then have signed up with a consulting company and, to do HR consulting with them. And they approached me about being what they call an expert on retainer with them. And I've gone through 2 interviews, and we're setting up the 3rd and final interview for me to be, someone that they would send out, not just on jobs, but to be, like I said, this expert on retainer. And, I worked with Sue Griffey on my biopara, and after I completed the biopara, I put it in my resume, and then I was like, I don't know, I just don't think this is right. And so she looked at it, tweaked it, and then said, I hope you don't mind, I took a little liberties on updating this first section of your resume. You had no white space, with something, Mindy, you had told me previously too many words. And she said, I just worked on this one area. You can use that and then do the whole remainder of your resume. So I updated all of that. And these things all happened after having made that update. So
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I've had that gum surgery as well. Yeah, it's not fun, but thank goodness it's over. And
This
you'll
was
never
number
have to do it
7.
again.
Number
Pardon
7.
me?
Number
Oh
7.
gosh.
Yeah.
Gosh, it sounds like we may not have you on the call anymore.
I don't know. I love you guys.
We hope that you will continue if you can, but as Brenda says, her goal for everyone on this call is to not see you anymore, because she wants you to get the job that you really want. So congratulations. It's been a great week for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey, hand up.
Yeah,
I
so,
see, just 1 second, Brenda's would like to jump in. So I don't know if you need to do something special, Jude or Christopher, but I see her in the chat. I don't know if you're seeing that in the chat.
Christopher, I'm leaving that up to you.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yay! Okay, I'm sorry to have. No, I'm not going to apologize, because we should make this an apology-free zone, right? These calls, we should not have to apologize. I am glad that I got the chance to do some networking here with my Dallas area connections. Bye, Kevin. Kevin Turner's leaving, everyone. Kevin, it's like the celebrity. Elvis has left the building. Super exciting. And next to me, look at who we have here. David, how lucky am I to have the chance? And I've also got with me Peggy, who is a fellow LinkedIn trainer coach based in the Dallas area. I'm not sure if you can hear her or not. I will drop her name and URL into chat so that you can all connect with her. I want to thank the team for running the call in my absence. I'm going to let Jude keep going with it, but I just wanted to pop in and say hi. It sounded like Rosemary had a success story. I didn't hear all of it. I'm going to watch it in the playback, Rosemary. So good luck, congratulations. Maybe it's a combination of both, I'm not sure, but just delighted to be on and happy to see the call continuing to go, and I'll stay on till the end, but you guys got a good pattern going. So Jude, I'll turn the virtual baton back over to you to keep it going, if that's okay.
Thank you. And lovely, what a lovely space you're in. Joey, you had your hand up, so please go ahead.
Rosemary, I'm just curious. I don't know if you mentioned it or not. I may have missed it. What's your next step in this process? What are you doing? Are you waiting to hear from somebody? Are you being proactive?
Well, I have on the phone screen, I have a second interview today.
Okay.
And then on the in-person interview, they said they were at the beginning of their process. The next step would be I interviewed with the director of legal and compliance. The next step would be to interview with the president. So I sent a thank you note yesterday and everything. And I have a connection with the president. Someone at my last company happens to be friends with the president. So, that's a good connection to have. And then on this consulting one, I actually got into it backwards. The owner of the consulting firm was presenting at my SHRM. I didn't know any of this. I went to their presentation, and then later on, when I looked to start with them, I used that as my in. Oh, I went to your presentation at my SHRM. I really enjoyed it, blah, 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 blah. I'm looking to get into consulting, and, I've attached a resume. I wasn't sure who within HR Collaborative I should, look to. Can you please pass my resume on? And then, it kind of domino, from there. So, and then I have that third interview on Tuesday.
So I tell you, thank you, Rosemary. So for everybody on the call, again, for what it's worth, between what Rosemary just said, what Retha told us, and what Nicole told us last week, those ATS systems are not your friend. Those job boards where you throw in your resume into effectively a black hole are not your friend. Your friends are the people that you know who know people that you don't know. And these are three examples. And if for no other reason, these are the reasons why you should be networking, and you should be getting out of your comfort zone and reaching out to people you know specifically who are close to you, and those who are far away, because that's where the jobs are. Even Retha said it. The job that she was asking for wasn't even posted. I think Nicole said the same thing last week. There are plenty of jobs out there. I know you don't want to hear that, but they're out there. It's not 1950. They're not going to come look for you. It's a different world. It's a totally different world. But these are great examples of, real life examples of what to do and what not to do. So thanks, Rosemary. Good luck, Rosemary.
Thank you. Michelle has a question. Michelle Evans.
Hey, Michelle.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where everyone is at. So my question is, because I know there's a lot of debate about using the green banner. But with me, I'm currently employed. And my question is, because I heard people say, we can open just for recruiters. And then some people say recruiters don't pay for that, and they prefer to see the open to work. And my question is, if I decided to use open to work and I'm still employed, would that be a red flag to a potential employer?
Yes, absolutely. Because the green banner is not something that is just seen by recruiters. If you put the green banner on, everybody sees that. So if you're employed and somebody happens to see that where you're currently employed, that is not going to be good. So I would not put the green banner on if you are employed. I think now I'm not a LinkedIn expert, so maybe Joey can jump in on here. But I think there is a way of letting recruiters know. Now, you may not reach all recruiters. I'm not sure about that, but there is a specific way that you can set it up so that recruiters can see that you are looking for work without having the green banner on.
Yeah, I do have that up for open to recruiters. I just wasn't sure. I was afraid that if I put it up, any other companies can be like, huh, she's working, but she has this open to work, know.
Yeah, that would not be a good thing. You're better to do that privately and do what you're doing right now. Only use the open to work banner if you are not employed at the current time and looking for work. So, and actually I just, I follow Adam Karpiak, and he's a recruiter as well. And he had made a great point. And recruiters want to know if you are looking for work. So, having that open to work banner is a good thing because a lot of recruiters look for that. It makes their job easier. Have we answered your question?
Yes, and I think it'll also be like what Joey said, it's like just that networking, connecting with people I know so they can connect me with people I don't know. So I guess that'll be the best and safest way to do that.
Yeah. Joey, do you have anything to add? Okay.
No, it's fine. I don't want to beat a dead horse.
Thank you. Thank you.
Janine had a question in the chat. I know Sam has a question too, so I don't know which one you want to do first, but since Sam's there, we should do Sam's.
Okay, we'll do Sam and then we'll do Janine, and we are cognizant of the time. It's 10:53, so we might go over a couple of minutes so that we can answer both Sam and Janine's question.
Yeah,
Hi,
thank you.
Sam.
Hi, Jude. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Okay, so I'll be quick because we are running out of time. I just wanted to say with the banner thing on LinkedIn, the other reason that you might put the banner on while you're working is if you're working contract. I always had mine up when I was doing temp contracts because they know you're going to be looking, you're ending your contract eventually, so that's fine. It doesn't affect your employer. But my question is, I have seen this on some people's profile picture on their LinkedIn. They have a video, and I was just wondering how you do that. How do you get the video on your picture?
I know you have to use your mobile, but that's about it. Christopher, do you have that? Or I know Brenda has her video.
Yeah, I have it too. Yeah.
Who said I
That
have
was
it
Ken.
too?
Me.
Kenneth, can you share
Sure.
with Sam how to do that?
You have to record the video on your phone. And then when you go to your profile, where you update your profile, your picture and all that, you have the option from there to upload the video from there. And then you can select the video and it'll play. Once you have it there, you can always update it and revise it. Brenda actually put in the chat a link, which is just as well. We all try from time to time, and it's a great opportunity to do your 30-second pitch. So again, I hope that really helps.
Thank you for your technical expertise, Kenneth. And thank you, Brenda, for putting in that link. That's fantastic. Rosemary, we have Janine, and then Brenda would like to pop in and just say a few words. So Janine, can you come on next and ask your question?
Sure. So my question has evolved actually since I've been on the call. I saw a job posting for last evening for a job I'm interested in applying for, and it's in healthcare in a hospital setting, in a hospital in New York Presbyterian, which has multiple locations. And so I was interested in understanding in the search function in LinkedIn, if I put in that name or the many names for these different centers for New York Presbyterian, would that show me the connections I have, who might have a connection to that workplace? And then while I've been on the call, I identified the one workplace where the job is actually working out of, and see that 3 names popped up, including the director of HR for the hospital. Only the first name, but they're a secondary connection to me right now. And so do you have a suggestion for a strategy of how to work with that to perhaps introduce myself to the director of HR through these connections? If anybody's had experience doing that, I'm guessing people have. I haven't.
Kenneth.
May I interrupt everybody? Good morning. My name is Simeon Berman. I'm in West Orange, New Jersey. I'm in healthcare. Obviously, I'm a doctor, but I don't practice. I've been a consultant for a long time. And to answer your suggestion, here's one, I think, very effective way of connecting via LinkedIn. Because I don't have the full LinkedIn expensive package, you're only limited to 300 characters in a solicitation when you link out to somebody, you're only allowed 300 characters. But I have put together over the years a 300 character introductory paragraph that I have found to be very helpful in soliciting LinkedIn. And I would suggest that you connect to that HR director with that 300 character limitation if you only have that type of LinkedIn account. And introduce yourself very quickly. Just say, hi, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm a so-and-so, whatever your qualifications are. I saw the job posting and I'd like to tell you that I am interested in the position and I am applying. If you can be of any help to me, please respond. Otherwise, thank you for whatever, and make it very cordial and very to the point. I have found that to be very helpful. So
Thank you, Simeon.
One thing I'd suggest also is if you find someone there, let's say it's a second connection, and you have a first connection like myself or someone else, you can ask me to make the introduction. But the way that I do a lot of those introductions is I set up a three-way message to kind of, and I will introduce, in this case, I'll introduce you or someone else. And then once the third person gets going, then I'll say, you guys can just take it over because I become the conduit. So if you find a second connection, then you don't feel comfortable, but you find someone they're related to, just build that relationship. Most people are very willing to help, but again, they have to know how. So
Abby is the first connection.
All right, so Abby's on the call actually.
Well, that's interesting because that's exactly what I was going to tell Ken. So I don't do it. I mean, not Ken. I was going to tell you. What Ken said is what I was going to tell you. Lord. And if I'm the first connection, it depends on whether or not I know this person well or not. So I'm an open networker, so I have a lot of connections that I don't know. But if you send me the name of the person, I can take a look. And if I know the person, I'll definitely write you I'll write you a nice little note. If I don't know the person, then we'll talk about what's the best approach.
Great.
One more point. I have made, well, because I'm a doctor, it's a little easier, but for other people I know, starting at the top of the organization, and if you do that 300 character introductory paragraph, even to the president or the CEO or the chief operating officer, they in fact will pass it along to their HR people if they think you have some value. And they'll say, please look at this person. And this has happened to me multiple times. Unfortunately, when I go out and send out my resume, and it's extremely long, I'm a project guy, and I've also had 2 of my own businesses, and they're all related to healthcare. I'm the first person anybody calls. I go through 2 and 3 interviews, and they all invariably get somebody who has had many more years of that particular job that I have. I'm a consultant. I've done projects all over the map in pharmaceuticals, medical devices, hospitals, medical education. And so
Simeon, I'm going to have to,
not a
we're
problem.
running out of time here. So is there a particular point that you want to end off on?
Yeah, just that starting at the top and sending out that same introductory 300 character note is well worth it. If they don't want to link up with you, they just don't. And
okay.
All right, one thing I would say
All right.
also is if you can find find some content to post about that shows what you're all about, or if you find something within the company that they're posting that you can reply back to, that's all about engagement.
Yeah. And the company page also, if there's anything on the company page, people do look at that as well. And I'm looking at the time and I want to let Brenda come back in because she's got some bonus prizes for us. And yeah, so Brenda, take it away.
All right. Can you hear me okay right now?
Loud and clear.
All right.
Loud and clear.
Very good. So let me see if I can figure out. I need to shut off my captions. I get so like sidetracked by reading what I'm saying. I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. That's not what I said. And then I can't concentrate on everything else. So let's do this here. I need to pull this up a little larger. Okay, I'm going to remind everybody what I put into chat just a few minutes ago in case you missed it. I'm gonna do my Zoom salute, make sure I'm good enough distance to the camera here too. So I have a connection who has donated a package of hours to job seekers, and he said, give it away to people instead. So I'm going to use the time that he originally booked to convert it to 4 30-minute LinkedIn coaching sessions with any of you. If you would like the opportunity to be included in on the prize drawing, you need to go into chat right now and just type in the number 30. Okay, must be present to win. And then we'll be picking 4 of these. So if you do not see your name on the wheel right now, put the word 30 into chat. And let's see here. I think I see Janine's name on here. Dean. Who can help me read these off? Because I'm having a hard time going back and forth. Kenneth, can you help me?
Quentin
who's
is in
name?
there.
Quentin, thank you.
Scott.
DF. Who is it?
Rose
Don?
as well.
Rose, Rich,
Was there
Jennifer, Dean,
Sam,
Jennifer D. Sam? Was there a
Sam
John
B,
or something?
Sam Brinkman.
Susan,
B as in boy? Susan?
Susan B.
Susan D as in dog or B as
No,
in
B
boy?
as in boy, Brinkman.
David.
Okay.
Oh, and Susan Davis.
And there's another Susan, so there's 2 Susans?
Susan Davis.
Okay.
David Mills.
David Mills? David. Oh, I'm thinking of David Ball, who's sitting right next to me. I'm like, that's not the right David. Yes, it's a different David. This is the other David right here. All right. Anyone else? Have I
Jennifer.
missed you? If I've
Jennifer Chang.
Jennifer C.
Jennifer C.
Thank you.
Scott Boudreau.
Scott. Okay.
Don Xavier.
Now these are only the people that have typed in 30 in there, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Who was the last one?
Simeon is
John?
in there as well. Simeon.
Sam.
Yeah,
I had to.
She's
Was
got
it
Simeon.
Don Xavier?
Simeon.
She's got
There
it.
I
he
have
is.
that in
Okay,
here.
got it.
Yep.
And do you have
Nancy?
Janine?
Nancy,
I have Nancy in there.
Okay,
NANCIE, or is there a different
yes.
Nancy?
CIE.
Yeah.
Thought I had her in here. No, I didn't. Nancy CIE, Nancy S, right?
Right.
That is correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have
Disabled
Janelle? Do you have
chat.
Janelle? JANELLE.
I don't see her. JAN.
JANELLE.
Yeah, you have her in there, Janelle.
Okay, got it.
Is there a student there twice
I
now?
think you might have
She's in there.
missed Erica, ARIKA.
Yeah, no, Erica's in there. ARIKA.
Erica.
It's in there, Brenda.
Is it in there twice? Now it's in there twice.
I don't see it twice.
Well, she
I saw
removed
it
it.
and I removed the second time.
It's on the wheel twice.
Trying to get my Zoom chat because right now it keeps sharing the chat and I don't know how to remove it. Let's see. More captions, hide captions. Okay, there we go. All right, by the way, this is this really cool website called wheelofnames.com. If you're ever in a situation where you're with an organization or on a group call and you want to give away something, wheelofnames.com. It's free. You can put custom colors like I just did. You can even upload a picture of the prize that you're giving away in the middle. And what I love about it is it takes out the guesswork of putting a name in a hat, and it automates the whole process with it. All right, so this is the way it's going to work. Must be present to win. We're going to draw 4 different people, and the winners I'm going to ask. I believe Paige, my intern, is on the call. Paige, are you on? Can you unmute and say yes if you're on the call?
I'm on the call. Yeah, I'm here.
Perfect. So Paige, I'm going to have you keep track of this, but I will ask you, Paige, to put into chat right now my email address, and each of the 4 winners will have to email me and say I won. Just put in the subject line I won, and I'll reply back with your scheduling link so that you can get that call set up. It'll be a 30-minute LinkedIn coaching call delivered through Zoom. It will be recorded, and I will send you a playback link. During the call, we can talk about anything you want to talk about. We can talk about your LinkedIn profile. If you have questions, I'll answer your questions. If you don't have questions, I will tell you like it is. I'm going to give you. work with me one-to-one. Must be present to win. So if you are not on, then you will not get the chance to win. If I call your name and you left, guess what? Somebody else is going to get your 30 minutes. Ha! That's the way that it works. Must be present to win. All right. So I think I've got everyone. I just saw Jorge or George. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I just saw you and I added you in. All right. So here I'm going to go. Now I'm going to click the middle and I'm going to hold my hands up so you can see I'm not cheating. It's spinning just like in Vegas, right? And it's randomly going to pick someone auto-magically. There we go. Yeah, congratulations. I believe that might be Veronique if I'm not mistaken, but you will need to email me, brenda@mellermarketing.com, and say I won. So that will be person number one. Paige, if you can keep track of the names, or in this case, the initial of you. I'm going to remove VF. We're going to do number 2. This is winner number 2. Holding my hands up. You guys like how I do that? Like so you
Of
can't see
course.
I'm not cheating.
Well, we can't
I'm not
see your
doing like
feet,
the elbow,
Brenda.
right?
Brenda, we
Yeah,
can't see your
that's
feet,
true.
Brenda.
But my laptop, I'd have to be pretty flexible to get my feet up on my laptop. Let's get Sam. Yay! Congratulations. Is Sam still on the call?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
awesome.
am. I'm
Sam,
here. Yay! I'm so happy.
yay! Congratulations,
I will
Sam.
email
So please
you.
email me and say I won. There's number 2. We're gonna do number 3. And what I love this, like it takes the names out each time too, so you don't have the chance of pulling 2. Oops, I forgot. Sorry. There we go. Hands are up. Hands in the air. Jorge or George, I'm going to learn how to say your name. Look at that. Congratulations, my friend. You have won. Email me, brenda@mellermarketing.com, and I will get you the scheduling link. I believe you are still on because you just put your name. So I'm going to move on to the final person. I'm going to click on the prize wheel one more time, hold up my hands one more time. 30-minute LinkedIn coaching call. Oh, Cindy, you were like, oh, it's so close. Don, congratulations. Congratulations. Is Don still on the call?
Thank you. Yeah, yes, I am.
Wonderful. All right. I'm going to remove that and then I am going to stop the screen share. Jude, I heard you were running the call and you were doing a phenomenal job. Do you mind if I take the closing from here? Is that okay?
Please go right ahead. Thank you.
All right. First of all, thank you all so much to my All-Star team for acting in my absence. I had thought I planned it out really, really well this morning. I'm actually in the Dallas area for a conference. I forgot about the time thing. So I was like, what? I was like coordinating my friends to meet for coffee. I'm like, let's meet at 8 without realizing 8 is actually 9 o'clock Eastern. And I only had an hour and we're actually still, a couple of us are here. And then one of my interns reached out and said, they said, didn't you say you were traveling? How are you going to do that call? I'm like, I can make it happen. I am a chronic, like fit too many things into a small space of time person. And I realized this morning, I'm like, I'm not going to make it. So I emailed all the All-Stars and I said, who can run in my absence? And I just jumped on at 5:02 and started. But they did an amazing job, didn't they? Round of applause for the people running the call today, right? Awesome, awesome job to all of you. So if it is your very first time coming on the call, this call was similar, but also a little different. I normally will run the call and have the All-Stars help. Today I had the All-Stars run the call and I came in and helped. So we changed it up a little bit. But this is a call that we do every Friday from 10 to 11 Eastern time. And it's free for anybody who's in career transition, whether you are unemployed, underemployed, in between successes, working but looking, or if you are a supporter of the job seeking community. We do this every Friday. And if you ever see someone on LinkedIn who is posting and saying they're out of work, they were just laid off, let go, whatever, tag me in the comments and just say, at Brenda Meller may have some resources that can help you. That's kind of like your way of winking to me, and I'll wink back and I'll put in the comments the instructions to how they can get registered for these calls, okay? My goal is I don't want anyone who is in career transition to feel like they're not part of a team, because this is part of your team. This is the community that we have created for you while you are in career transition. By the way, hopefully you heard from others on the call today, like Kenneth Lang and others who have other communities and events as well. I would highly encourage you to join our private unlisted LinkedIn group. I'm going to ask Paige, my intern, to drop that group into the chat right now. It's a link that you'll have to click and request to join. If you ever come across job postings on LinkedIn, share them inside the group. If you ever come across other events, share them inside the group. If you want to talk about something you're attending or a resource you found related to the job search, share it inside the group. If you are trying to get on the call in the morning and you can't find the Zoom link, don't email me or text me because I'm already on the call or I'm in Texas and I can't get you. I just had a couple people I saw in my email. Go to the group. Remember last week we talked about like at home you have like a fire drill plan for your family. And if you all leave different doors, you should have like a flagpole down the street that you should meet at. That's the LinkedIn group. So if you're ever running into difficulties, go to the LinkedIn group and say, I can't find the link to join. Can someone give it to me? And someone will help you out there. Okay. I want you all to know that we saw that you were on the call. I do see some folks that are starting to drop off, but I want to just quickly look through the participant list and see who's on. And first of all, I want to thank the co-hosts, Jude, Christopher, Joey, Kenneth. Thank you all so much for helping to run the call in my absence. And thank you to the rest of you for being on today. I see, let's see here, Simeon, VF, Abby, Alicia, Erica, Cindy, Dan, Dean, Don, the Book of Don. That's very clever. I'm looking at your name in here. Dorothea, Janelle, Janine, Jennifer C, Jennifer J, Jorge or George. We're going to figure out how to say that. Laura, Michelle, Nancy, Nicole, Paige, Quentin. I got to scroll down here. We had a pretty big group, so give me just a second. I'm trying to do this on my laptop without a mouse today. Rich, Rose, Sam, Scott is in here twice because you're twice as nice. Simeon, Susan, and Wendy. Thank you so much for making this a part of your Friday. We look forward to seeing you every Friday. So come on in, come and join us, come spread the word, let others know about the group. You're always welcome here. I want you to know this can be a part of your team that you are a part of until you're back to work. Now, I know I heard somebody saying my goal is to not see you on these phone calls. Yes, absolutely, because I want you back to work. That's the goal. But we are here for you in the meantime. I want you to know you are not alone. It can be very isolating when you're in for a transition. You are not alone. You're a part of this amazing community. I would highly encourage you to connect with fellow VIP job seekers, the individuals that are on the call. Before you leave, you can download chat. And I want to remind you how to do that. You go into the chat box. In the bottom where it says to everyone, off to the right-hand side, you should see 3 little links. Maybe it's at the bottom. Mine's at the bottom. Say, click on the 3 little links and it says more, and there's an option to save chat. So at the bottom of your chat, look for 3 little dots, click on the 3 little dots, and you will see the option to save chat. If you save the chat, it'll save it in your downloads folder. And that way, all of the links that we shared today, including the LinkedIn URLs from people, you can go back after the call and connect with people. Okay, so make sure that you do that before we leave the call. You also have the ability to download the transcript of the call if you'd like to review that again later. Christopher Johnson, our Zoom guru extraordinaire, was so kind to record the phone call. He's going to send me the playback link, and we'll be putting this out on my YouTube channel later on today. Paige, who's my intern helping behind the scenes, Paige, could you please put in there the Friday VIP call playlist on YouTube? And I'll ask all of you if you could please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow that playlist. That way you'll be able to get the phone calls and watch the playback for today and for other sessions as well. All right, have I forgotten anything? Any of the All-Stars want to say anything? Have I forgotten anything? Did I do okay? I think I did okay.
I have a quick question. I know we're really over time, but
Sure.
once I save the chat, what do I do with it? How do I get it?
Yeah, so it will be in your, typically it's in your download folder.
Okay.
So easiest thing, like I go into my search bar at the bottom and I just go into search and I type in downloads and it'll take me to the location on my computer where downloads are saved. It will be in a text, like a notepad format, Dan, so it's not going to be like clickable, but you can open it up and you can copy URLs and paste them into your address bar, and that way you can invite people to connect with you. Does that help you out?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And Dan, by the way, if you have any questions about that process too, come on, if you come on next week's call, you can ask the question. I can like demonstrate that firsthand, or you can go in the group. If by chance anyone's watching this call on a tablet or a phone and you can't download chat, go into chat right now and ask somebody in the group if they can email it to you, okay? And put your email address. Someone in the group will help you. We are aren't we a great group? We all help each other out on here. So I love that we do that. So, all right, I think that's it. David, do you want to say anything? Hold on, let me give you the headphones so you can say hi real quick.
We just are enjoying Brenda's company here, and it's all been great, you guys. And so she's the real deal, and just such a warm Texas welcome. And she got her some pie. I mean, at one of our really good Texas pie places. And so it's right here in our little town of Grapevine. So please, y'all come anytime y'all want now, you hear?
Thank you, David. All right, and I'll put the computer over to Peggy so she can wave to all of you. I did drop Peggy's LinkedIn URL into chat as well. And Peggy is a fellow LinkedIn trainer coach. She's based here in the Dallas area, so do be sure to connect with her. All right, I think that's it, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and wrap us up here. I'll leave this open for about 5 minutes, and then we'll get everybody about their day. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay positive. Surround yourself with amazing people like you find here in the VIP community, and look forward to seeing you when I'm back home in Michigan again next week. All right, everyone, take care. Thank you again. Take care, everyone.
Thank you all for your participation. Make sure you download the chat, connect with each other, and of course, follow Brenda on her YouTube page and follow the rest of the people that have been mentioned in this call.
Chris, when we save the transcript, do we save it from where we started or where the call started? How does that work, do you know?
It saves it from the point that you initiated the transcript.
Okay.
So if you initiate it as soon as you start the call, then yes, for you, it is at that point. If someone else starts it a little bit later, it is a little bit later for them.
Okay. Nicole, I'm going to reach out to you, Nicole, all right?
Okay.
All right. Have a great week, all.
Thanks, Chris.
Chris, you still there?
I am.
So you think, do you think they can do something with my video, my webcam?
Well, if it is the built-in cam and it's under warranty, absolutely.
Oh, I don't think it's still under warranty if I got it like
Yeah.
July 2020.
Then if it's time to replace it, you should be
How
able
do we
to,
tell?
they should be able to run a diagnostic on it
All right,
and let you know.
all right. Thank you.
Mhm. Always happy to help.
Thank you.
Everybody, I put a copy of the chat in the chat, if that makes sense. I don't know if it's going to open for everybody, but I thought I'd give it a try just in case.
And yes, that text is in the chat. So yes, people can click on that to download that. All right, all. Again, have a great week.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.